Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak. I'm your host, Elena Fox Starks. Hey guys, I hope you're doing really well in this moment in time, and that whenever and wherever you happen to be in this point in time and space on the grand matrix design called Earth, that you are paying attention to the shadow side of yourself, that you're not just stuffing it down with ho-hos while you binge watch your favorite show on Netflix. I mean, and I'm talking to men as well as women, all of you, and I know I talk to myself as much as you, not that I could get ho-hos where I live. Here you remember the Hostess cupcakes that are chocolate with that weird chocolate frosting on top and the white E's that go across and the white filling inside. Well, they have those here. They're called penguinos, which is the Spanish word for penguins. Super adorable. Anyway, see how easy it is to get away from the shadow side of things? So, for the past 5 days, my son has really been feeling it bad. Like he's been going through all the stuff, the negative stuff that happened, and all the stuff that I did or said or whatever that upset him, and all the stuff that he did or said back to me or to other people that upset him, or all the things that people did or said that upset him. Life circumstances that just are not fair, no matter which way you look at it. You know, it's not a lot of ways you can look at the idea that your father died when you're 8 years old. You can't really view that with a nice, sunshiny Pollyanna sort of attitude, because it just bites. It just sucks so bad to lose a father at such a young age. And, you know, my kids both have been through a hell of a lot of things, and so have I, and so have you. We all have been through a lot of stuff, right? And when you go through stuff that's unpleasant, you have emotions that are unpleasant. And if you're not paying attention to the emotions that you hate to dredge up because it's from the past and let sleeping dogs lie. Yeah, if you let sleeping dogs lie long enough, then they're gonna smell. You need to bathe those sleeping dogs, wake them up and bathe them, cleanse them. And I'm not talking about actual dogs here, but you need to bathe your self, your shadow side. You got to look at it, embrace it, love it, accept it, and let it the hell go. Bye-bye, Felicia, to all those bad emotions. Seriously. But feel them first. Allow yourself to feel them. Wallow in self-pity if you have to. Don't do it for too long, you know. If you want to feel depressed, that's okay. Because there aren't any good or bad emotions. There's really just emotions. And then there's the labeling of the emotions. Now, I've had people that were not in my life for very long for this very reason, that would say things to me like, so your best friend died 3 months ago. Aren't you over it already? Sorry, you're deleted out of my life. You don't get to tell me how often or how, in what manner, or how long I get to feel bad about my best friend dying. You don't, dictate anything about my emotions to me. They're my emotions, right? And so don't allow anyone to try to control you, cajole you, or basically judge you for not being over something. Grieving is a very personal process, and everybody grieves in their own time. And if somebody judges you for not getting over something in their own little time frame, A, they're probably a narcissist. B, they're definitely toxic. C, it's time to frickin' delete them. Bye. Because people who don't feel like dealing with your emotions, they say you're too high maintenance. That's not true. They're just too low effort. That's cute, right? Not mine. I will tell you right now, I got that from a meme on, I think, on Facebook a few months ago. Anyway, but yeah, the shadow stuff has been coming up for me, and it's stuff that I thought I was over. I thought I got through it all. I thought that I had put all of my fears to bed. I figured that everything was good. And I was riding high on the fifth dimensional thing. Oh my God. I was feeling fantastic. And all of a sudden, when my son started feeling it, I started feeling it. And then he exacerbated mine. We had a couple fights for a few days, and I exacerbated his. He is a magician of chaos, though. And then today he just said, look, we need to push each other's buttons and fight once in a while. I think it's healthy to get it all out in the open so we can let it go and then enjoy life together again. My 17-year-old, he's like Benjamin Button, that one. He's like 71 inside, you know, with a level of wisdom he's got. Sometimes it scares me. He doesn't always read me right, but I'd say 95 to 97% of the time, he gets it. He gets me. He gets people. It's interesting to watch him go through these insights, you know. But literally for like 4 or 5 days, though, it's been bad around here. I'll be honest. You know, some of my deeper, darkest thoughts kept crawling back for the past 2 days. And they weren't as deep as normal, weren't as dark as they had been before. Because I have a lot more hope in my heart and in my mind, and dare say in my soul, than I ever did before. For my life, my future. There's still some things I'm working on resolving, but I know I'm not the only one. And I saw somebody talk about the shadow side on Instagram yesterday, and somebody else said, that's funny you put this today because I've been feeling really, really dark for like 2 or 3 days now, and I was riding high for like 3 weeks already, feeling so great. Because I feel like I went into the fifth dimension. I feel like I've ascended, or at least I'm in the process of ascending, and it's finally happening. Things are excellent. I feel great. And then all of a sudden, darkness. You know, it just reminds me of that God Rest Her Soul, Amy Winehouse song. And I go back to black. You know, it gives me chills just to say it. God bless her. I love her so much. It's so funny because I didn't know who she was. I heard her name a lot, but never had heard her music. And my son was invited by some friends to a nightclub in Peru. They don't check ages ever, cards ever. But he went to a nightclub and stood in the back and watched an Amy Winehouse impersonator that looked literally the spitting image of Amy Winehouse, who sang her songs in the same exact way. And she looked identical to Amy Winehouse, and my son was blown away. He was like, oh my God, this woman blew my mind. This music is incredible. And he became a fan of hers. And he said, you got to put on your computer. I want you to hear her music. So we sat together and listened to her music. And now we've probably done that a handful of times since that night, you know, about 4 years ago. And he's just like, you know what? I love her music. And we looked into it and found out she died, and we both cried and cried and cried over it. And there's the darker shadow side to her music might actually help you through this time if you relate to her stuff, because she didn't really hide her alcoholism too much. She died of alcoholism, alcohol poisoning. And one of my favorite songs is Rehab. You know, and it's just so telling about her life. You know, my daddy says I'm fine. So they try to send me off to rehab. I said, no. Hey, you know, I ain't got the time. And hey, my daddy says I'm fine. So, yeah. And she wasn't fine, and she did die of that. I mean, that's classic denial. The whole song was about her shadow side, right? And Back to Black, her depression, that went hand in hand with her alcoholism. And I don't know, I'm not an alcoholic. I don't, you know, I've told you guys as a joke, I'm not, you know, dedicated enough. I'm too lazy. And I don't have the kind of money that I would need to be a proper, serious alcoholic. But I have been around alcoholics in my life, mostly as an adult. I've met adult, like friends, like alcoholics. My ex-husband ended up being one towards the end. And his father was definitely an alcoholic. So, but that's part of the shadow side. So if you have addiction issues or beating yourself up over your looks or your weight issues, that's not fair. It's not fair to your body or yourself. But a lot of people do that. So there's a lot of shadow stuff coming up. And I wanted to read something too that was from Daniel Scranton, because not only did I notice it obviously this week in my own life, and I thought maybe my son's just freaking tired of being cooped up. You know, I mean, I know I want to freaking run around the park and talk to people, and I'm an introvert. I never go anywhere. So if I feel like that, my extroverted son, I mean, honestly, guys, the extroverts are not doing okay. Check in on your extrovert friends, because, you know, remember the 5 stages of grief. Losing your freedom like this, depression is one of those stages. And the depression, I've been feeling it for about 3 or 4 days now, and I'm not in a deep depression. It's just a very light depression, but it is sadness nonetheless. And I would dare say it's actually depression, not just sadness, which can go away in an afternoon. You know, sadness usually, it's something to me that you could get rid of by eating an ice cream cone or petting a dog or listening to the laughter of children you like. Depression is something that you could eat ice cream or pet a dog and you're not going to really crack much of a smile. You appreciate those things, but not to the extent that you ought to, or that you are capable of. So, I'm going to read this thing from Daniel Scranton, and before I get into this, I wanted to say, speaking of ETs, because Daniel Scranton does channel the Arcturian Council, and the name of this article is If You Want the ETs to Land. So, before we get into that, I wanted to take a moment and honor and respect and say a little prayer for Alan Daviau. He was the cinematographer for the movie E.T., Steven Spielberg's movie, E.T. the Extraterrestrial, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. Did I not just mention this like last week? And the person behind the camera, the cinematographer, died of COVID-19 today, and he was 77 years old. So I wanted to take a moment for him. We just ask the universe, please bless him on his journey, and that his soul rests in peace. So that's it. We'll say amen and move on. But I don't know why that hit me, but it did. And part of my melancholy the past 3-4 days have been all the friends that I've lost. All the friends. I've lost so many friends, and when I try to mention this to people, a lot of people don't understand. And someone told me, yeah, but that's to be expected. People die. And it's like, well, when you're 70 or 80 years old and all your friends are the same age as you, it's definitely expected. But when you're 38 and your friends who are 28 are dying, not so much expected. My oldest friend that died was 64. That's not terribly old. And I had another friend in her 50s. She was 56 and she died. And everybody else except for my friend Amber, and God bless her, she was kind of getting up there in age. She was 16 years older than me. So she was also, she was 66. Would have been 67 this coming July on Flag Day. Or no, Bastille Day. She was born on Bastille Day. But but other than those three people, everybody in my life that have died have been very young. And they've all died suddenly. One of cancer, one of, which wasn't as suddenly, but is more suddenly than it should have been. And he was like 32, and car accident. What's the other one? Just a brain aneurysm. One day he was fine, wrote me on LinkedIn, and 24 hours he was dead, afterwards, which was so sad. I was just like, oh my God. My other friend Cameron almost died, and thank God he's still alive. He had to have an emergency kidney transplant, and thank God for him. He was rich and he could pay the big bucks to get a new kidney and get his life back on track. He was a private paid patient. Not everybody is as lucky as him, and he's not lucky. He came from nothing and built himself up, so God bless him for doing what he could to make sure he was in the right position to, be able to help himself, because now he's got a wife and kids and a lot more to lose, and people in his life that would have a lot more to lose, but I've had a lot of, I had one of my best friends from college had cancer, and she beat cancer's ass, as she puts it. And she's still a very bitter person about a lot of things, but she's very good about taking care of her health now, which is cool. But too many people in my life have died, and I started thinking about that, and it's just, not only have I had a lot of loss and grief in physical items, I've lost at minimum hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of things. Most of the things I could replace, but pictures of my parents and my kids when they were little, my wedding ring, can't ever get those back. And some of my best writing I lost. I'll have to redo it, but just really stuff that's just so annoying, that I just like, God, I wish I could have that back. And when you die, you get your things back. Don't worry, whatever you missed in life, they'll recreate it. You'll have it back. But it's annoying to lose it now. Now when you care about it so much, so much more. But losing freedom, losing people, losing things, losing, fading figure, fading face, fading hair. We all have something, right? So I'm going to read this too, and even though it's bringing up the shadow things, this actually brought me a level of comfort that I did not expect, because it made me realize that you guys are probably going through this also. And that's why I'm bringing this up now. So, greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. We are very pleased with the progress that we see you all making there on Earth at this time of slowing down, doing less, and feeling more. You are there to feel all of the emotions that are available to you, including your fear of being destitute, sick, and then ultimately dying. You have all three of those spheres coming up at the same time during the pandemic crisis that has been coupled with economic crashes and unemployment. You are getting your money's worth. And this was actually a very economical choice for the human collective consciousness, because you want to be processing faster. You want to be facing as many of your lower vibrational emotions as you can. Now, when you are in the midst of clearing a lower vibrational emotion, you also have to put yourself in a position where lower vibrational thoughts will be coming to you. Lower vibrational beliefs will be formed, and a lower vibrational perspective on the world you live in will become a part of your way of looking at the world. This trap is what you need to avoid right now. You need to avoid the trap of ignoring your feelings in favor of thoughts of persecution, abuse of power, and loss of control. Once you process your fears, you will be able to take back your power. You'll be able to feel the truth that you have come to know as awakened beings that says you are deliberate creators. You are there to pick from all of the various vibrations that you come into contact with. You're there to create a better experience for yourselves and for the rest of humanity. You're there not to wait for something like disclosure to come around so that you can now be free and validated in your beliefs. You want to create a collective consciousness that allows for physical extraterrestrials to simply be able to land their ships without fear of what those humans who haven't dealt with their emotions might do. So if you really want to see the massive changes on your world that more and more people are talking about at this time, you need to feel those feelings, as difficult as they are, so that you can move past them, so that you can get into your creative vibration and bring humanity to the highest level of consciousness that has ever existed here, or they say there, on planet Earth. We know that it's the harder path. It's the more challenging path, but it's also the path that you knew you were going to take before you incarnated. And now is the time to get on it and to invite others to join you. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. Now, this is the Daniel Scranton. He channeled them. So if you want to find him, he's danielscranton.com is his website. You can also go to Instagram, and he's just at Daniel Scranton, I believe. I also follow him on Instagram. But on Instagram, he puts the words that I just read, out there. Other people steal his stuff and put it in their feed as well, and higher self steals his stuff and puts it through a robot voice. So as far as I know, I'm the only person reading it out loud in my own voice versus that robot voice that is so annoying. I hate that so much. So when I read this and out loud to you, I read it to myself as well. And I read this earlier to my son, and we were kind of like, I think I lost him at the ETs. If you want ETs to land, he's like, I don't think he particularly wants that. Way too much information for my kids. But it's really interesting, all the stuff that they talk about. And the thing is, you can label emotions as good or bad, but the way that they put it, it's either high vibrational or low vibrational. And that can take you right to the calibration of emotions put out by Abraham Hicks. With all the emotional, the scale of emotions. If you look up Abraham Hicks Abraham Hicks Scale of Emotions. There's a whole book about this, which I absolutely love. They've got several books. And at the very lowest emotion, I believe, might be either complete hopelessness or despair or depression. Those are like really low. And they're also passive emotions. So the next one up on the rung is anger, which is more active and more positive, which is weird. So it's very interesting. I love that scale of emotions. Stuff I never thought of, but that's just exactly the way that the vibrations of the emotions are. So I thought that was very strange and interesting. I've been using that for about 10 years. Maybe more, maybe like 11 or 12 years. So hopefully that helped you guys. If you're going through this and you're just like feeling alone and sad, stuck, depressed, I watched a video clip of Michael Sarion the other day, and it was like a month ago, and they're still calling the virus a hoax. I'm the only one that left a comment, and I put, here it is a month later, and there's been 800 dead people found in their homes in Guayaquil, here in Ecuador, where I live. 4 hours from me, so it's not happening where I live directly, but I live in this country, and it's a very small country. And it's just, I don't want to say infuriating. It didn't really anger me, but I was annoyed. People just, by saying more people have died from the flu, sure. But just you wait. COVID-19 coming to a set of lungs near you. It's how I feel about this stupid thing. And it's, and they were calling it an old people's thing, so if you're not old, don't worry about it. And, since then, babies and teenagers have died, and really healthy people in their 20s have died from this. It's not selective. It doesn't go, oh, do you live in a particular region of Italy that has a 5G tower and you're old? Well, boom, there you go. You're our target audience. You're our target victims. That's not what the virus does. I wonder if they're eating their words, if they regret putting that out there to the world a month ago, saying this is BS and a hoax. Comparing it to the Spanish flu, well, only 50,000 people or whatever, or maybe 100,000 died from that, but it's supposed to maybe more. I don't even remember now, but I don't know. I just feel like people dealing with the conspiracy theories or the conspiracies. Some are actual conspiracies, some are just in the theory stage. There's no proof one way or the other. And we talked about 5G last Thursday, a week ago. But it's not, it didn't create the coronavirus. The coronavirus has been around. Many, many different coronaviruses have been around for generations. So you can't reasonably assume that a virus was caused by a tower. Maybe it's made worse. I don't know. Maybe it does affect our subtle bodies. I don't know. Even Barbara Handclough was out there spewing non-scientific BS on Coast to Coast AM just last night. I read the description. I didn't hear the interview, but every single thing that they reported that she talked about, every single thing. I remember years ago I read one of her books. No, I won't lie. I actually read one chapter in one of her books, and I thought, I don't believe her. I feel like she's a liar. It was just, and she's well loved, respected. She's on Gaia, and maybe I'm wrong, but it was my gut feeling, my gut instinct, and I just said, I don't trust this woman as far as I could throw her. I think she's making stuff up. And she had this story about her only other past life ever. It's like, really? You've had only one? I don't know. It's like, I know I've had dozens, and she got to be a high priestess in a past life. And now she gets to be such a spiritual leader and advisor, right? Wow, you got all that knowledge just from one other life. Wow, It's like where people like me have been around for 10,000 years on this planet. We're not going to talk about all the other planets I live on simultaneously to this one, as well as before this one was even in existence. And I'm still trying to figure this out. So you can't tell me that you have it all figured out and you know everything. And I just kind of felt like she wanted to come across as an authority. And she published her own book with her own publishing company. And she published a series of other books. I'm not going to mention that author or what those books are about. But I had gone to see that person in person, and I saw the giant demon attached to her head, and all the information she was feeding people through her books and directly in person was from a massive demon that threatened me when I got near it. And I told it, I'm gonna freaking kill you. I'm gonna get you off this woman. And then Archangel Michael came. We were getting ready to do battle, and my friend told me, no, you're going to be responsible for her financial downfall. And then are you going to put her up in your house? I'm like, I don't like her energy. I don't want her anywhere near me. And she said, exactly. Let her deal with her own karma her own way. It's still your choice. You could do battle with this demon and exorcise it in front of all these people right now, or you can let it go. I took a deep breath and I pointed out a few of her flaws in front of 60 people, and they all got in their cars and left and did not stay for the second half. They all asked for their money back and realized they had been duped, and I helped people with that. And oh well. It's like I just call it when I see it. I call it how I see it, man. But she was talking about all this, and she's spouting off these conspiracy theories that aren't hers, by the way. Other people came up with them months ago, and she just gathered the information and spouted it off on Coast to Coast AM because she needs that, attention for negativity, I feel. I don't know. And I don't mean to be negative about that either, but I feel like it's like there's some people, and there's spiritual narcissists. I don't know if she is or not. She might not be. She might be a lovely person, but she's so lovely. Why wasn't she talking about uplifting, wonderful things? I don't know. And not like I'm going into uplifting wonderful things right now either, but we do need to delve into the dark side and the shadow stuff. A lot of things are being exposed in the world that need to be exposed, but we do not need to dwell on them, and we do not need to lower our vibration, and start gathering up the negative beliefs that go along with those vibrations. Is it possible we all might become destitute, not be able to afford food, become homeless and die? Sure. Those thoughts have been going through my head. But is it also possible that we could find some work online to do to uplift ourselves? Maybe you haven't started that blog you've been telling your friends about for 3 years. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to open up an Etsy shop and start selling your art. Maybe it's time to start that personal shopping business you always wanted to do. Or at least, get the business plan together, ready to ask investors to invest in you. There's a lot of things that maybe you've already thought about doing, and now's your golden opportunity. Face yourself, stay at home, face yourself. But start planning the future when you're ready. If you're not emotionally ready, don't worry about it. We're all going through something that no one's gone through in over 100 years. There's no right or wrong way to do this because it's freaking hard no matter how you look at it. No matter which way you slice this bread, it's tough as hell. And parts of it are inedible. It's very hard to swallow what's going on right now. This whole coronavirus crisis, it's freaking insane. I wake up in the morning and I open up my curtains and I think, oh, such a lovely day. I want to breathe in the air, and then, oh crap, I can't open my windows. And I go into my living room and there's a big black tarp duct taped around my front door. And I can't get out of here. And today my groceries were not delivered on time. They were due between 12 and 1. And at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, my personal shopper quit. And I was assigned to a new personal shopper. Then my son started panicking. He says, you need to get your money back from the bank. And oh my God, they've got your bank card number. Oh my God. And he started really panicking. He's like, get your money back, reverse the charges. Oh my God. And I'm like, oh my God. And he got me into a state, into a panic. And I got on my bank and I said, no, wait. And I got off that and I wrote them and their customer service, which has been excellent all week, helping me. And so I said, look, I really need my groceries. I can't leave the house. My immune system has been compromised for 20 years, and I have asthma. There's no way in hell I'm going to go out in this. I'm not going to send my child who's underage either, even though in 6 months he'll be 18. I'm going to keep him a child while he's a child. In 6 months, I will call him an adult. But right now, he's still my baby, And I feel like, the law is that you can't send somebody under the age of 18 to go shopping for you. He's got a fake ID that he made himself. Just because his old girlfriend wanted to go to a specific club and they do card, and so he did it for their anniversary. It's like, I don't know, their second month anniversary or something. Super adorable. He's like, yeah, it was a really boring club. All this work. I get in there, I think he said he had like a soda or something. He's like, danced for like an hour and then said, that's it, I'm out of here. It's just like a boring place. But I was really upset. I'm like, oh my gosh. And my son started looking at all the reviews. He's like, oh my God. They have 1 star, 2 stars, 1 star. The food never came. I think they're stealing food. I paid with my card and they won't refund the money. Oh my God. They took my money. They took my food. And I started to panic. Like, really. I started to really panic. I was like, oh my God. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt because I feel like it's real. My son's like, who sent this to you? I'm like, my friend in Quito. I've been like internet friends with them. I met him on the internet and we've just been, every now and then talking. And he added me on Instagram recently and we started talking about this. And my son's like, you can't trust people on the internet, Mom. What's wrong with you? And oh my God, I started questioning my sanity, started questioning if I'm going senile, because I trusted an app on the internet. He's like, your friend is probably he probably created this. And I'm like, I'm looking at this app, which is a super high quality app, and it looks like they probably spent $20,000 on this app. It is an excellent app, like completely flawless. It's better than any delivery app I've ever seen. That includes the Uber app, which is crap. So I'm looking at this going, no, I don't know. It would be a lot less professional if this wasn't something that someone's trying to do, right? And so I wrote them and I said, you guys have until 5 o'clock to get my food or I'm going to reverse the charges and give you a bad review on the Google Play Store. And all of a sudden, and I did not hear back for 1 hour. I was like, oh my God, it's really a scam. Oh my God. And I started panicking even more. And it's only $38. It's like testing the waters. I wasn't going to buy $200 worth of stuff on an app I didn't know. So I'm like, $38, whatever. And they even refunded me $8 because the bread that I wanted was out of stock. So I thought, cool. I mean, they're actually being honest. This is cool. And then they gave me a 10% discount for the next order because that happened. And I'm like, oh my God, this app is amazing. And for 1 hour, I sat there sweating bullets like, oh man, this is like the one way we could get the food from the one store we really like. The higher quality stuff, right? And then all of a sudden, they got back to me and they said, they're having a hard time. They try to call your number, which was actually my girlfriend's number in Turi, which is another part of this city where I live. And I guess she wasn't answering her phone or her phone was off or something. and she said, or they said we couldn't get a hold of you, and we're having a hard time with your address. And I looked it up, and the guy that changed my identification number so I could use the app also changed my address, and he also he changed my phone number and made it an incomplete phone number. So I was just like blown away. I was like, oh my God, this guy really messed me up. You know, he thought that my address was not right or something, and he wanted to fix it and make everything right. Well, he sure fixed it. Well, I didn't get my food, and then I had to wait another 2 hours. They said, you'll get your food by 5 o'clock. I'm like, well, good. Because what did I said, hey, I'm going to reverse the charges, give you guys a bad rep. You know, and the guy showed up, and some of the food was missing, and he said he's going to come back tomorrow to get it because they were out of stock, but they'll have it for sure definitely tomorrow. All right, fine. And I caught him. I think he ate my Snickers bars on the way over. You know, he's trying to hope I didn't notice. I'm like, no, I know that my Snickers bars are missing, dude. So anyway, he's like, all right, fine. I'll bring your chicken legs and your Snickers bars over. And so that was it. That was the day. My son was worried about the butter, so he pasteurized the butter. He put it in a pan, and he looked it up, how to pasteurize butter, and so kill the virus if it was in the butter. It's safe now. We decided to take the milk and just keep it. It's like milk that's ultra pasteurized, and it's not refrigerated milk. They do that here. It's sealed in a certain way, and it stays on the shelf. It's very weird. It's totally different ball game than Europe or the States or Australia or New Zealand. It's a very strange milk system here, but so we decided to keep that on the shelf for 21 days before even refrigerating it. We found out that refrigeration and freezing stuff can actually preserve the virus if it's on the food. So you have to wash all of your vegetables before you put them in your refrigerator. And they recommend doing it with soap and water or bleach and water. So, I know my son and I had a lot of arguments about that. I'm like, I don't want soap in my food. All the vegetables are yours. That's disgusting, you know. And he's like, that's how everyone else is doing it. I'm like, yeah, but I don't like this idea. So, anyway, I finally looked that up today. I'm like, oh, well, he was right. He's always right. So, anyway, just weird stuff, you know, some of the things that didn't work and then suddenly did work, and looks like things are going to get a little bit better. But some of the things have been weird, like it's just been, the energy has been blocked. Do you guys feel that? We're getting better. It's slow, but I know it's going to be really quick. Like next week at this time, we're going to be fine. All right, let's get into the normal things we go into. Spaceweather.com. The solar wind speed slowed way the heck down. It's now 317 kilometers per second, but we don't have to worry about anything because not only is the sun blank without any sunspots, but also there are absolutely no coronal holes. So no solar wind coming our way, and no flares, nothing coming our way. I don't know, no news is good news, I suppose. So, according to Oulu, Finland, the neutron counts are at 11.1% still, very, very high. So we're still getting lots of cosmic radiation coming our way, even though it's not directly from the sun. But there's been no change in 48 hours, so that hasn't changed either. And the All Sky Fireball Network has reported, over the United States at least, there have been 7 fireballs, according to NASA's All Sky cameras. So over the United States, 7 fireballs. Let's see. Now, this is interesting. If you feel like going to spaceweather.com, what you will see right now is that the fragments of Comet Atlas are now currently racing towards the sun. So there's 2 nearly identical fragments, dare I say another symbol for twin flames gained together, Racing towards the sun. Not something I recommend anyone to do. But if you want to see it, it's pretty interesting. Switzerland's Mirastellus Observatory was the place where two, I think they're amateur astronomers, I think that's what it said, Jose de Quiros and Michael Dayerler, they took pictures that you can see right here. They talked about what they used to see the fragments. So there you go. So they're saying the fragmentation of Comet Atlas has unfortunately not multiplied its brightness. Oh, that is so, so sad. So now it's only 2 magnitudes. Remember, it was 8 before. Now it's a factor of -6. So whatever. Not very bright. We're not going to see it. But have heart. The Comet Swan is on its way, and it's just as beautiful as Comet Atlas was. So they're saying that the disintegrating nucleus seems to be exhausting as its stores of gas and dust are going away very rapidly, and indeed the comet may not survive much longer. So pretty soon to be. Rest in peace, Comet Atlas. So sad. Wanted to let you guys know that Tuesday and Wednesday of next week we will be approaching a stream of debris from Comet Thatcher, and this is the source of the annual Lyrids meteor shower. They're forecasting that we're going to have as many as 15 meteors per hour. So, grab your sweetheart or your favorite cat or your bucket of popcorn, head on outside with a blanket and watch this beautiful meteor shower. Or maybe don't go outside if you don't have your own house or don't live in the countryside. And if you're in an apartment like me, look out the window with your bucket of popcorn. And if you can't see anything because of clouds, there's always YouTube. People always have cameras that are outside all the time recording stuff in the sky. So I'm sure we'll be able to catch it from somewhere in the world, and so that will be interesting. Now, these meteors are best seen from the northern hemisphere. The days you regret moving to South America. But they say it will be radiant and high up in the sky. So if you do go outside to look, wear a mask, social distance, and enjoy yourself. All right. Oh goodness, in Italy there's something I gotta mention real quick. It begins with the sneeze. Pollen floating through air tickles your nose. Your body responds by expelling the allergen. Gesundheit, they say. When the paroxysm subsides, look up at the sky. The same pollen that makes you sneeze can also make colorful coronas around the sun. Oh, thank God. I thought they were going to say it's tied to coronavirus because it said corona in Italy, and I'm like, oh my God. Anyway, so they say they photographed the sun, and there's coronas around it, like halos. And this was taken in Cimarago Veresi, Italia, from Italy. They're saying it's because the birch trees there are now in full bloom. It's a warm, dry wind that swept up out of the north and created a perfect storm of pollen, and also an excellent chance to spot that elusive pollen corona that happens around the sun. This person, Bardelli, who took the picture that you can see on spaceweather.com, said, I stood in the narrow shadow of a rooftop weather station and I captured this image. So it's just basically it's light rings of pollen produced by the sunlight scattering because of all those small particles in the air. So if you see that, maybe you have a lot of pollen in your air right now. So their magic is created because pollens are non-spherical. They have air sacs that help carry them in the wind, and this aligns the grains so that the coronas become elliptical. So this guy says, how adorable. He says, it was fantastic, although with my allergies, I still haven't stopped sneezing. You know what? I've been sneezing a lot too. So you know what? Something is in the air for sure. Disclosurenews.it has a whopping 35, and that's it. 35 hertz frequency on the Schumann Resonance scale. That's it for that one. Just wait, guys. It's big in some places, though. So let's start with California. California started off at midnight at 80 hertz frequency, and by 4 a.m. they went down a little bit to 79 hertz frequency. And why am I forgetting the name of this one? Oh yeah, Hofuf. It's like I didn't recognize this one because, oh my God, it's so high. Usually they're at 0. Hofuf, Saudi Arabia, they started off at midnight at 273 hertz frequency. That's huge. Huge, huge, huge. And by 4 a.m. they were at 269. But they did, at 1 in the morning, they were up to 276 hertz frequency. Man, that is huge. So big. All right. Why am I forgetting the names of these? Oh my gosh. Lithuania started off at 133 hertz frequency at midnight, and by 4 a.m. they were down to 132 hertz frequency. And at midnight, Alberta, Canada started off at 110 hertz frequency at midnight, and they went up to 111 by 1 and then back down to 110 by 4 a.m. Northland, New Zealand started off at 10 hertz frequency and landed on a big fat goose egg. They went down to 0 by 4 a.m. And once you know it, this is so strange, they traded places. And Hululu, South Africa started off at 0 and ended at 0 hertz frequency. And those are the 7 Schumannic resonances from around the world for today. All right, in the Foundation for Inner Peace website, found at acim.org, we are on lesson 276 in A Course in Miracles, and this is the lesson for today. The Word of God is given me to speak. The Word of God is given me to speak. What is the Word of God? My Son is pure and holy as myself. And thus did God become the Father of the Son he loves, for thus was he created. This, the Word, his Son, did not create with him, because in this his Son was born. Let us accept his fatherhood, and all is given us. Deny we were created in his love, and we deny ourselves. To be unsure of who we are, of who our Father is, and for what purpose we have come. And yet we need but to acknowledge him who gave his word to us in our creation, to remember him and so recall our self. Father, your word is mine, and it is this that I would speak to all my brothers, who are given me to cherish as my own, as I am loved and blessed and saved by you. The Word of God is given me to speak. Now you can find lesson 276 in A Course in Miracles in any of the Course in Miracles apps, or again at acim.org. All right, guys, I'm going to take a quick break, and when I come back, we're going to talk about what I consider to be a super exciting topic, only because I grew up going to rock and mineral and gem shows my whole childhood, even, in my adulthood too. I'm a exciting geology nut. I'm not interested in tectonic plate movement so much, but when it comes to the minerals and the gems, and oh my God, it's so amazing. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about semi-precious mineral stones and their spiritual, metaphysical meanings right after this message. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's high time you did. It is the absolute easiest way to make a podcast. First of all, it's absolutely free. Second of all, they have creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. You guys have known that I've been doing this for 8 months using the Anchor.fm app right on my cell phone, and I have done it everywhere, right? I have recorded this in my living room, my bedroom, little cafes in Quito, Ecuador, all over Cuenca. It's so absolutely easy to make your podcast, and editing is just a snap. Anchor also will distribute your podcast for you, and it took me about 2.5 months to become syndicated, and now I'm available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more, and so can you. You can make money from your podcast also, and there's no minimum requirement. You get paid from your very first listener. It is everything that you need to make a podcast all in one place. So please, if you are interested in making a podcast of your very own, do not hesitate to start with Anchor. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. All right, guys, so I came across an amazing website today called satincrystals.com, and they talk about the spiritual metaphysical meanings behind and uses for of all these different minerals. And what I'm talking about is basically the pretty colored rocks that we love to play with when we walk into New Age stores or crystal stores, or even places like Disneyland and Knott's Berry Farm, when they have, things like Frontierland. They have a bunch of rocks you could just go run your hands through, and I don't recommend it now, not in this day and age, at least for the next 6 weeks. But you guys know what I mean. If you've ever been to a place with a bunch of colored stones and you're just like, oh my God, I don't want to stop touching them or looking at them. They're so absolutely amazing. But for me, I've had a love affair with rocks and crystals and gemstones my entire life. And it's funny because, earth is not even my element, but I still love my special rocks. They're all special to me. So I'm going to read, basically this is A to Z minerals, and I might not get through them all. And if I don't, then I will come back next week, talk about more. But I found this on satincrystals.com, and anytime I run across crystals in this list, I'm going to skip over it because we went over crystals last year. I want to say, I think October 30th. I just looked it up to make sure. We've gone over the spiritual meanings of gemstones, and we've gone over crystals. So these are the rocks that are really pretty. They're blue, or they're red, or they're white, or they're black, or they're different colors, but they're not technically crystals. So I wanted to try to get through the meanings of this. So, all right. The first one is agate, and agates come in a wide variety of colors. What they're showing here is little streaks of kind of a reddish brown in a white and blue field, and it's beautiful. But I've seen agates many, many different colors. So there's all kinds. The one they show might be, it's not blue lace agate. I don't know what kind it is, but anyway, in general, this is what agate means. Agate is like a comforting friend when jittery nerves stop you from success. If you're anxious or nervous, What you can do is hold an agate crystal and feel its soothing energy trickle down your fingertips. Agate will infuse your body with calm confidence. It does come in a rainbow of colors, so pick out exactly the one you want for any of your chakras. That's what they say. Now, what I say about this is pick out the one that you are emotionally attracted to, because your emotions don't lie. Your mind can go, well, I don't like red, doesn't match my outfit, right? Your mind can make up all kinds of crazy excuses, but it's your emotional body you want to listen to when it comes to picking out crystals. The one that you're the most attracted to, the one that you will grab, hold in your hand, and not want to put down, and the thought of parting with it kind of makes you anxious or upset, or you might want to shed a tear. That's because this one is meant for you, and it is your friend. So I believe that these are like our friends. They really are, and they match our energy. It's like there's nothing like it. I've gone to sleep at night holding big crystals in my hands. Wake up at night or wake up in the morning. Oh my gosh, where's my friend? Where'd he go? Usually underneath my pillow, but they are like little friends, and they help us. So Amazonite is the next one, and Amazonite I think might come from the Amazon River, which is here in South America, and it runs through a lot of the countries, Peru and Colombia, Ecuador, as well as Brazil. And so that's a lot of ground to cover. It's an enormous river. I traveled down it for 3 days from Colombia to Peru. One of the best trips of my life. Oh my God, it's so peaceful and beautiful and incredible. And the animals, there's pink dolphins in this water. I saw them jump out of the water. Pink dolphins. And they're fresh water. They actually discovered these also in the Nile and the Ganges River. There's pink dolphins on our planet. I think that's pretty special. Anyway, Amazonite is beautiful. It's like kind of a pale turquoise kind of blue. Not really. It's more like a pale sky blue mixed with white, and it's kind of mottled look. And this will take your mind on kind of a tropical paradise vacation. That's what they said. I don't think tropical paradise. I think almost like a crystal clear blue sky with puffy white clouds is what it reminds me of more. But it has sea green hues and shimmering silver ripples. And the one that they showed here, it's like baby blue. It's beautiful. But basically, I do agree with this. They say goodbye to stress when you relax with Amazonite. It puts you in a state of zen, so you can revisit life's hurdles and easily overcome them with wisdom and strength. If you're having problems expressing your soul's desire, the Amazonite will unblock your throat chakra. It will also help to open your heart chakra, maybe so you can find the love that you deserve in case you are blocking it. So amber is the next one, and I love amber. It's so amazing. Amber is a tree sap that millions of years ago ran down the sides of trees and got petrified and hardened into what we know as amber today. It's very lightweight, and it's very, it's got a happy energy. I love it. It's kind of orangey and honey colored. It's so beautiful. Sometimes if you're very lucky, you'll get a piece with an insect in it. I know that sounds weird. Lucky, what? It is actually worth more money if it has an insect or a small animal in it. So they found some with lizards in it last year. I thought that was pretty cool. Little tiny lizards or lizard eggs. I'm like, that's really special, actually. So amber suspends time. Ooh, that's super handy. So you can take a minute to indulge in something sweet rather than racing the clock. Tired of rushing chaos and on-the-go lifestyle? Well, wow, this is the wrong time to ask us that, right? We don't have that anymore. How does that feel? It's kind of good, right? Feels like amber. Amber will teach you happiness through just being, not doing. This is an ancient gemstone, and it reminds you of what is important and to let go of all your nasty baggage and everything that's been bogging you down. This is like a drop of sunshine. Amber will light up your solar plexus as well as your sacral chakras. Now, I'm giving you the short version, and there are full meanings pages behind all of these. So if you go to satincrystals.com and look up meanings, they go deep. So I'm just going to the surface of this. I'm going to skip over amethyst because we went over this last year. Basically, though, you can help. It can help with spiritual wisdom, meditation, and meeting with your spirit guides, as well as opening all of your clairvoyant and psychic abilities. Angel light. I love angel light. Angel light is just this kind of a muted baby blue that's just, it's simple but also a little bit surreal. It's a beautiful, beautiful color. Angel light is heavenly, just as heavenly as you imagine it to be. Through angel light, you can kindly summon the archangels, guardian angels, and earth angels, like the angel of parking spaces. And if you're my Catholic grandmother, St. Anthony is good for finding things, including parking spaces. She had the whole family praying to St. Anthony to get a good parking spot at the grocery store every week. Keep angel light near at all times, so when things are not going your way, you just ask your angels to help you. Channel celestial messages from above with this high energy stone that enlightens the crown, your third eye, as well as your throat chakras. I like this because it's not a dark blue, it's a very pale, and it's really ethereal. I love angel light. Now, Apache gold. This is beautiful. It's not gold at all. It's kind of a dark brown, almost black, and it does have some golden hues to it, and a little bit, it looks like possibly a little bit of white streaky energy, but that could just be the way that they took the picture. Apache gold is here to save you from physical and emotional burnout. If it doesn't feel like you're doing the same, it says, doesn't it feel like you're doing the same thing over and over again sometimes? Yeah, sometimes. Apache gold will detoxify the Hara line energy channels and the root chakra that'll help you get your mojo going. It's time to be a superstar that you are meant to be with the helpful healing hand of Apache gold. This is sweet. They're sweet descriptions, right? Appetite. Appetite. Not the way you think it's spelled. It's not about wanting to eat. Appetite is spelled A-P-A-T-I-T-E. Now, this is a beautiful, darker turquoise blue stone. It looks like it has silvery white lines running through it, kind of squiggly lines. And this is a great manifestation stone. This is what you've been looking for, because this will spin the law of attraction in your favor so you can finally get ahead. So people use apatite as a crystal that will coach them to health, fitness, weight loss, and body happiness. You put apatite over your third eye, throat, and heart chakra, and then it will teach you its secrets. It's funny, they call these crystals, and they're not technically crystals, they are minerals. So I keep reading the descriptions, and I'm like, I don't know about that, guys. All right, apophyllite. A-P-O-P-H-Y-L-L-I-T. Apophyllite. This is a stone that knows secrets and wishes and wants to share its wisdom with you. The color is kind of like a peach, almost a rose gold mixed with silver. It's very interesting. It looks kind of warbly. Very strange stone. I've never seen this one in life. I mean real life, only on pictures. They say that this is an interdimensional stone, and it will put you in touch with the Akashic records. Well, this is one I need to get immediately. This is a universal library, of course, that's what the Akashic records are, that hold all the details of existence, not just you in all of your incarnations, not just this life, but everybody that's ever existed. The Akashic records are there. Apophyllite helps you release suppressed emotions so you can suddenly be true to yourself. This is a divine master crystal that opens up the crown chakra. So apophyllite, put that on my shopping list. Okay, Aquamarine. I love that movie. Did you guys see? It's kind of a cheesy mermaid movie, but I love all mermaid movies just because mermaids. I mean, at Mermaid Girl 888 is my Instagram, so anything to do with mermaids just blows my mind. Aquamarine is a calming crystal. It is kind of like a grayish, greenish. It's kind of like the color of the ocean when there's a storm about 6 hours out, but it's on its way. I know that because I have lived at the beach and I've looked at the ocean and I've learned its moods. You know, if it's blue, it's going to be clear day, possibly hot. And I know if it's looking kind of grayish, then a bad storm is coming. And this is kind of a medium storm coming sort of color. This is like kind of like a grayish, greenish with some white veins running through it. So aquamarine, it can also, in the higher quality pieces of aquamarine that I've seen, it can be very pale and very beautiful, and sometimes can be high quality enough that it is a gemstone that you'll definitely want to have it setting in a ring or earrings or in a necklace, because it can be a very beautiful stone. But aquamarine is calming. It bathes you in tranquility, serenity, and divinity. This is a cooling water element stone that will wash away your fears and your woes. That is just like a gentle tide that will cleanse the shores of your weathered soul. Aw, I love this writer who wrote these. Aquamarine helps you find closure in lingering matters so that your karma scale is in balance. It fills your heart chakra with gentle love and the throat chakra with soft, soothing words. Aww. It also happens to be the stone of Pisces. It's what all Pisces people need, I think. Aragonite or aragonite brings you the healing nature of Goddess Earth, Mother Earth Gaia, basically. It doesn't say that, but I'm adding that part. It is a brown and white stone, so it is very earthy. So basically, holding aragonite is like taking a mini hike or a retreat to a place of calming earth energy. It helps to keep you grounded and balanced and feeling real. So this stone will help replant your root chakra and connect you again to the animal magnetism of your sacral chakra. So it will help you ground yourself. I think that's awesome. That seems to me like it would be a very good stone for vegans, because vegans are eating such high vibrational food all the time that sometimes they become ungrounded unless they're constantly focusing on grounding. So I think aragonite would be very helpful for vegans. So this one I've never, ever, ever seen before, and it is absolutely beautiful. Arfvedsonite. Oh my God. Never in my life have I heard this. Arf, like a dog goes arf. Arfvedsonite. 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 Jolts you awake so you emerge from a boring, sleepy cocoon lifestyle. If you feel dull, reignite the sparks in your life with Arfvedsonite. It's getting more and more fun to say. Feel your confident and winning personality resurface, and you will be ready to take on the world with this stone. When you harness the power of this stone, everyone will be shocked and impressed with the new you. If you place magical Arfvedsonite, they spelled it wrong there, Arfvedsonite, on your throat chakra, They will give you strong communication skills that will command your attention and also praise. So put on your third eye chakra for an endless flow of brilliant ideas. So this stone is kind of purpley and blue, and it's swirly like the cosmos. It's like almost like a dark purple, so dark that it's almost black, along with a pale amethyst color purple. It's very, very beautiful, and I cannot wait to get my hands on some Arfvedsonite. This is another fun word I've never said in my life. Astrophyllite. It sounds like astral flight, but it's not spelled that way. Astrophyllite or astrophyllite. I'm going to spell it for you. A-S-T-R-O, like the dog on the Jetsons, astro. And then the second part of the word is phyllite, P-H-Y-L-L-I-T-E. Now this stone, it's black with white streaks in it that look like angels or fairies flying by really quickly. So this is very interesting stone. It's like black with white wispy gossamer patterns. This is the stone of light. Anytime you feel frustrated or low on energy, this is an uplifting stone that can help heal your aura. This stone exists to support you and rejuvenate you. And this is for light workers of the world. Reiki masters, crystal healers, hypnotherapists, spiritual readers. Well, go get yourself some astrophyllite. It recharges your etheric batteries with white light and helps you to tirelessly share your gifts. This crystal boosts your spiritual growth through the crown chakra while keeping you balanced in daily life throughout your root chakra. I love this. I want to write some of these down. This is excellent. Aventurine. Oh, aventurine is so incredibly beautiful. Aventurine is a pale, this is my favorite color. It's a pale turquoise. And sometimes it's kind of like a darker green, but like kind of a moss green mixed with a little bit of blue color. And it's only meant for those who want a life of abundance, fortune, and wealth. Yes, please. It breaks you free from the poverty mindset that has been sabotaging your success. This helps you pursue goals passionately and to revel in the results. This fantastic financial feng shui crystal can also bring you prosperity of love, happiness, relationships, or anything else that you desire. It will help to open your heart chakra to a state of immense love. That is aventurine. That is spelled A-V-E-N-T-U-R-I-N-E. Basically, like a vent urine. A-V-E-N-T and then urine, U-R-I-N-E. Aventurine or aventurine. Very beautiful. Now the next one is interesting. Azurite. Azurite. Now azure is a word that means like a deep, deep, dark blue. But the stone of azurite is white with kind of a charcoal gray speckles, little tiny sprinkles, and then blue, bright, brilliant blue spots. Very interesting looking stone. This guides your inner seeker to a place of expanded consciousness, universal understanding, and enlightenment. Azurite illuminates your third eye chakra so that you can see through physical barriers and get in touch with your spiritual abilities. This is a great choice crystal for those who are doing psychic readings, Reiki, healing, meditation, and all of the higher occult arts. That's interesting. This stuff is interesting to me. Beryl. I think we went over beryl before. B-E-R-Y-L. I have met women named Beryl. I love this name. Not Beryl, B-A-R-R-E-L, like roll out the barrel. No, not that. Beryl, B-E-R-Y-L. It's a very interesting stone. Now, This is the total ruler of stones. It is a very pale emerald green with white spots, almost resembling the wings of dragons with scales. It's very beautiful. This stone is meant for those who are seeking the best of the best. Under this family name, you will find precious treasures like blue aquamarine, green emerald, and pink morganite. Royal beryl is a muse. It will inspire your creative nature and your artistic abilities. To see the specific healing benefits and chakra associations of beryl, you have to check out the names of the individual stones that belong under the blanket name. So I love that. Okay, bloodstone. This one's a really weird one. This is like a deep, deep greenish blue with spots of what looks like blood on it. Bloodstone is bold and courageous stone that is not afraid to give you a needed nudge in life. It will help you get over your fears and achieve your desires. And this is a very strange looking, but also very good looking stone. This is an epic manifestation stone, and it will help you with abundance and also to squash any feelings of being a coward. Yeah, it gets rid of cowardice. So any thoughts that you might be harboring that you don't believe in yourself or that you can't do it, this stone will help you, give you a life of wealth and help you live your best life ever. It will help you gain prosperity through wise decision making. And this is a heart chakra crystal, and it gets your physical and energetic circulation glowing probably too. And it puts you in the correct motion. And you will learn to be brave with the use of bloodstone. I love bloodstone. It's a cool one. All right, here we go. Bronzite. Bronzite. This is one I've never heard of also. This is a fierce warrior stone, and it has your back at all times. This stands beside you as a mighty protection rock, repels negative energies and people. Now I'm looking at this, and it's like a bronzy colored light or medium brown color. It's kind of reddish brown. It's got a lot of modeling in it. Not model like, cover of magazine model, but mottling, M-O-T-T-L-I-N-G. And by the way, when I spell words or explain words, I'm doing this for the benefit of people that listen to me that have English as a second language. By the way, if you know what the hell I'm talking about all the time and you speak English and you're like, why does she do this? I'm not condescending you. I'm not talking down to anybody. I'm just trying to help English learners to get better in English and to understand the differences between words that sound the same. I'm kind of a natural English teacher. That's why I'm going to get my certification in this. I've been doing it already for many, many years, helping people with English, so might as well get paid for it. Anyway, let's get back to bronzite. Okay, this is a mighty protection rock. It will repel negative energies and negative people. Ooh, gonna put that next to my front door. Spiritually, this rock will provide a state of certainty and decisiveness in your path. Bronzite clears confusion, slashes out destructive forces from your life, and helps you adapt to changes. Oh my God, you guys, I need to put this in all of my pockets. Walk around all day with this one. Use brazen bronzite at the solar plexus and the root chakras. Bronzite. I'm loving this. Okay, calcite. Calcite is all about your emotions. This empathic crystal is totally in tune with your feelings, even if they are buried deep within you. Calcite teaches you how to express your needs, communicate your heart's desire, and to balance out your emotions. It is a solar plexus chakra stone that also blasts open other chakras depending on what color you choose to carry. Because guess what, guys? Calcite comes in a beautiful medley of tones, such as honey, yellow, blue, pink, mangano, never heard of that, mangano, and clear optical. So I think calcite is a stone I've seen if you go down to Mexico in all the shops, and they have all these statues that look like really fancy, like they're marble and they're kind of heavy. I think that usually they're made from calcite because it's not a very expensive stone. I used to have a massively huge carved, I'm just going to say it literally, it's a phallus. It was a penis. I thought it was one of the most hilarious things I ever saw in my life. And I was getting my degree in human sexuality, so I bought this massive, like 8-inch, like calcite penis. It was like white and gray, and my friends, I was drunk at the time, by the way. Most of my life in Mexico was just spent on a massive drunk, basically. But it's super cheap to drink there, especially when you're in Tijuana. But my friend who I was with, he's like, "What are you going to do with that?" I'm like, "It's a paperweight, duh." He's like, "Oh my God." I'm like, "Look, I'm going to be a sex therapist someday. So, hey, this is my paperweight for my desk." It's a conversation starter, if anything. And I got it home and I realized there was like a hole where a hole naturally is in a penis. And another one of my friends came in and saw it. He's like, "Oh my God, that's vulgar." I'm like, "I know. Isn't it fantastic?" I love it. And he looked at it. I was like, "See that hole right there?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "That's for cocaine." I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, there's a lot of weird art in Mexico that has this kind of a hole. It's a really shallow little hole." And he says, "Yeah, you just put the cocaine in there and you measure it out. And so you always get the same dose so you don't overdose. And that's you snort that much." I'm like, "What the hell?" I had no idea. Totally naive on everything. But now that I'm looking at this, it does come in a bunch of colors. And I think someone did tell me it was calcite. It looked just like marble, but it was calcite. So calcite, all right. The one that they showed here is kind of a golden honey colored with a orangey gold streak and a white streak through it. But like they said, all kinds of colors. So depending on which one you pick would be the one, where it's going to help you in your life. So carnelian. Oh, this is the next one. I love carnelian. Carnelian, I've been looking for carnelian for a very long time. And every time I go to a store that sells minerals, or here in South America, they have open air markets where people are selling all kinds of jewelry and stuff that they've made, and people that sell necklaces and bracelets around it just at these makeshift booths. They travel up and down all of the countries of South America looking for the most unique and amazing rocks that they can find, and then they will turn that into jewelry. And I mean, I've gotten some really, really beautiful, like I paid $25 for something that it's labradorite, which we'll probably talk about next week. But seriously, like this necklace in the States would easily be like $100, and I got it for $25, and it's incredible. It has the initials JD in it, and I felt when I picked it up that it has clues in it as to who my real twin flame is. And I'd been seeing JD in the clouds everywhere, and I saw this, and when I bought it, it was beautiful, but I didn't have a good enough light. And I got home and I saw the JD, and I'm like, "Oh my God, it's so special and powerful." But every time I go to any of these booths, I'm always looking for carnelian, and I'm going to tell you why. It's the reason I like carnelian is because I know it is a stone of classically attained or traditionally attained wealth, like the kind of wealth that you can hold on to through generations. And it's a very popular stone in China, along with red coral. And I did find some red coral finally I got some red coral in a Chinese store. And so I do have a red, I wore that when I went to get my papers done to get my residency here in Ecuador. And I've never gotten residency anywhere. You know, I've traveled and lived in places, but this is my first time. So I was nervous as hell. And I wore this and I had so much confidence and it boosted me. And red coral kind of does the same thing as carnelian. And the carnelian is, it's kind of a stone of powerful wealth that you can hold on to and pass down to your family, you know, your kids, your grandkids. It's kind of like a generational wealth generator is what I've learned about it. Now, what they say is a little bit different, so I'm going to go into this too. It also is a stone of creativity, which I did know. But what they say here is carnelian inspires artists. And so if you're an artistic genius or you don't have a creative bone in your body, either way, carnelian will act as your muse. It will deliver success in auditions, interviews, innovative pursuits. Carnelian is a career builder in all industries of work. So carry carnelian for success. As an added benefit, it will protect you from psychic attack of opponents, naysayers, and ill-will persons. Find sexual balance when you use this stone to help unblock your sacral chakra if you need to. Now, this stone has sometimes white layers, white and clear, alternating layers throughout it. It can also be very dark red and a golden orange, as well as a bright or a deep orange it's a very beautiful orange. So kind of orangey and red. I like it when it's more orangey and red, not with the white. It reminds me too much of McDonald's, but not thrilled with that. My Virgo self goes, no, only the red ones. Now, cat's eye, this is fun. Now, you guys have heard of tiger's eye, but cat's eye is a different color. It brings you stealth, power, and cunning, wit of the feline. This is a stone of confidence, and it helps you to bring about your soul's desires. You can command attention and become leader of the pack with cat's eye. They have a lot of puns about cats. Use this stone to attract good luck and also to repel the evil eye. You know, scratch your enemy's eyes out with this one? No, okay, not really. Maybe energetically, I don't know. This is a mineral that encourages serenity as well as happiness. Now, cat's eyes crystals you place between the third eye and the root chakras, and it will balance both of those. Now, cat's eye is kind of a pale, almost like a steel gray blue. It's a very pale blue, but it's kind of a darker blue. And it always has that streak running through it that's the shape of a cat's eye. You know, that slit that's kind of expanded in the middle. Like a tiger's eye, but it's not brown and golden. It's blue with white. It's very beautiful. It's kind of a grayish blue. It's very calming. Another stone that's grayish blue is celestite. I think I might have talked to you guys about this one before, but it bears repeating. Celestite, oh, I love it. This has the energy of the songs of angels, whispering lovely notes from heaven into your ear, as it says here on satincrystals.com. Now, with celestite, it will help you to live a blissful life, and it will bring you signs and messages that are spiritual in nature that will be channeled through the throat chakra crystal. I'm sorry, that's like really awkwardly written right there. It says, or maybe the way I read it, it says, find your way to a blissful life through spiritual signs and messages that are channeled through this throat chakra crystal. I think if you carry this around, I think it helps you to get in touch with angels, and you can ask God to send you heavenly messages, and you'll automatically attract them if you carry this around. But it's kind of more like a crystal than a mineral. I love celestite though. It's gorgeous. It's like a white tips crystal, but then the bottom part is more like a blue, but that gray blue. It's just of a peaceful ocean, but something's brewing. Like a little bit of a storm's coming in about a day or two. It's that kind of, I don't know, if you know the ocean, if you could read the ocean, that's, I know, it's so crazy. All right, so anyway, Celestite benefits you every day by enhancing your skills of public speaking, articulate communication, and through the gift of singing. It develops abilities in telepathy and clairvoyance. Hey, this kind of ties in with yesterday's episode, right? Now, this is a weird one. I've never heard of this one before. Cerussite, Cerussite, is a stone to have with you when you're going through change and new beginnings. Cerussite makes you feel comfortable in your own environment, whether you're at a class reunion with an old friend, a new workplace, or in a room full of strangers. Oh, this is like an introvert stone. I get it. Use this stone to open and balance your crown chakra. Now, cerussite, it's looking kind of like blue-green moss growing on a boring gray rock. That's the picture that they're showing. So, I don't know. Maybe you can find a prettier version of it. It doesn't have to be pretty. If you carry it in your pocket, you'll never see it anyway. The next one, this is a beautiful and strange one, Chalcedony. Chalcedony, Chalcedony, Chalcedony. This is a stone of kindness. Now, this is what you need in a world full of hostility, violence, and selfishness. Chalcedony will remind you to stop bullying and stop being bullied. I suppose that's also if you tend to beat up yourself. If you are a self-bully, Chalcedony is your stone. Use it to foster group stability at home, work, or during recreation. Probably this sounds like a good stone to have if you have a family. You know, if you're in a family that's big and living together, or you're a parent, this might be good to get the kindness between the siblings. Maybe set up a grid in your house. That might work. Chalcedony will soothe your mood and get you pumped up for teamwork. So also good for work as well, right? So this is a balancing and opening stone to help with your throat chakra and solar plexus chakra. Now, this is a very crazy looking stone. It looks like almost like lace, and it's kind of pale blue and darker blue mixed with white, and that's mixed in with like a ruddy brick red and a pale brick red. Very bizarre. It's almost like a red, white, and blue stone. Should be the stone of America, so everyone works together and no one bullies each other anymore. Chalcopyrite. There's another one I've never heard of. So, all right. Chalcopyrite. 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 Copyright. They made this up. Chalcopyrite. This is a shimmery golden luster stone. It shows like it's kind of like a grayish with golden energy to it. So it has golden luster and it's ready to illuminate your aura. This is a highly powered mystical stone that will open up the channels of your crown chakra, and it will help you to resonate with the spirit world and to help transcend through your higher chakras. And it's a gift from the gods and goddesses. The healing crystal stone is divine and perfect for when you are working on your higher self and your spiritual self. Yes to all of that, right? That's like for all of us right there. Charoite. Oh my god. Charoite? I don't know. Charo. Oh, you guys love Charo. Just love her. Okay. Charoite. I can't even say this. C-H-A-R, like charbroiled steak. Char. And then O. And then I-T-E. Charoite. Okay, this is a beautiful stone, though. It's like a midnight blue, almost like a deep, deep navy blue, almost black, mixed with very pale purple on it. And it looks very much like the one earlier that we talked about. And it looks like it has like phantom pictures. This one almost looks like an angel or a naiad, which is a mermaid with fairy wings. that lives in the rivers. Anyway, charoite unlocks the gates of your third eye and your crown chakras and allows a rush of spiritual power to flow through you with a great velocity. It will cleanse your aura and stimulate unconditional love. With precious purple charoite at your fingertips, your mind will be free of all the nonsense that's been holding you back. This is the stone to use when you need help to make beneficial decisions so that you don't get stuck or trapped in a pattern of self-sabotage. Charoite reads your mind and the will of your soul. It's a wise, intuitive spirit guide crystal. That is cool. Chrysanthemum stone. This is like a black stone with a bunch of white, it looks like white clouds, little peppery clouds going across, and it looks like the stone on this website, I could see a fairy. In fact, I see 2 fairies and an elf in this little picture here. Maybe even more. Wow, I'm seeing like 4 or 5 beings. I think this one will connect you with the fae folk. But what they say about chrysanthemum stone is it captures eternal beauty, love, and youth, giving your spirit joyous traits. It holds the power of earth and history in your hands, and when you gaze into the vivid floral patterns of the unique crystal stone, it's a stone, they keep calling these crystals. Chrysanthemum brings unity and harmony to your relationships. It reminds you to nurture the garden of love daily so that your partnerships can thrive. Chrysanthemum stone will unblock your root chakra, and it uses its power of nature to get you grounded. Again, this would be really good for vegans if you have a hard time grounding. Sometimes stones can help with that. So this is a sister stone to the exotic Chinese writing stone. Oh my God, I really want to know what a Chinese writing stone is now. I'm going to have to look that one up later. Now, chrysocolla is the next one. This will heal a broken heart. This is a very brilliant turquoise colored stone with darker blue, almost like a turquoise blue, but almost like a darker blue. It's very beautiful and it's very modelly. It looks like kind of like clouds in the sky. It's almost like a dark blue sky with turquoise clouds in it. So chrysocolla heals a broken heart. This is a compassionate crystal. It will wipe away your tears caused by a broken relationship or a rejection letter for a dream job or loss of a pet. Anything that's sorrowful, disappointing, any experiences that make you feel down, this is going to lift you right back up. Chrysocolla. And that's CHRYSOCOLLA. This is a goddess stone and helps you to open your heart to new love. And they're calling her she. She'll point the way to doors of opportunity that you might not have noticed before. You gaze into the turquoise pools in this stone, and it's mixed patterns, and it'll help you find your way in life. If you put it on your heart and throat chakra for blissful relief and rejuvenation, it'll help you feel better. The next one is chrysoprase, CHRYSOPRASE. Chrysoprase is a wild and vivid stone that will free you from your mind's inhibitions. This is a really wild stone. It's like kind of like a gray and baby blue mixed with pink and dark brick red and gold yellow. It looks like some art that my friend made once. All right, anyway, it will free you from your inhibitions. Take a trip into the wild jungles of the world with this Mother Nature masterpiece crystal. Again, just a rock, but okay. Chrysoprase trumpets your talents and supports your creativity. It teaches independence and encourages commitment. Chrysoprase refreshes your heart chakra energies and will help you to live truly in your heart. Citrine. Oh, I think we went over this one before. I'm going to quickly say citrine is usually a beautiful golden honey colored orange. It's very happy. It helps lift depression and brings you money. So it says it has an uncanny I can't even say this word, uncanny ability to churn out cash. I used to buy this from my grandma. It's a sunny and chipper crystal, it says, and it's for your solar plexus. Balances your emotions and your mental being. Copper. Oh, I love copper. It's one of my favorite things in the whole wide world. Faraday cage. That's something I want to build with copper. Okay, copper will awaken your inner alchemist. Its conducive energies draws a law of attraction to your favor, summons health, wealth, and happiness mindset. Harness the power of this metal of antiquity for mystical and unexpected experiences. Copper is activating the root chakra, so that's what you can use it for. Cuprite. This is very strange. Cuprite, it's not coprolite, by the way. Cuprite, C-U-P-R-I-T-E, or cuprite, C-U-P-R-I-T-E, is for you empaths who often get the short end of the stick because people take advantage of your kindness. Cuprite puts the wheels of karma into action so that your fair share is returned to you. My God, I need like a 3-layered necklace with this one. I've had too many people take advantage of me. And anyway, your fair share will be returned back to you in kind. This is also nicknamed red copper. So am I. Or copper red. This bright firestone burns off laziness. Again, I need 3 layers of this necklace. Cuprite. Oh my God. You feel motivated to do things when you work with this stone of humanitarian pursuits. Cuprite strengthens your body and your willpower through the root chakra. Now this picture, it's hard to tell. It's like kind of like a neon red mixed with fuchsia, mixed with what looks like copper. It's really, really unique and very beautiful and bright colors. Okay, diopside, D-I-O-P side, S-I-D-E, is a heart chakra stone and is a pale green with white modeling in it. It embraces you with a warm hug full of love energy. Your anger and aggression will vanish with the vibrations that are super bright of diopside. This will replace any unwanted feelings. With diopside, your soul can bloom like a garden freshly planted with new seeds of change. Oh, kind of cheesy, but also very sweet. I love this writer. All right. Dioptase says, just let it go. Dioptase, it's like, it's very strange looking. It's like a crystal it's like an angry sea that's also very beautiful in color. It's like white and turquoise, but it looks like an angry, choppy sea. It's the only way I can describe it. Dioptase, D-I-O-P-T-A-S-E, says let it go. When you're feeling tense and you feel like you want to control everything, it will remind you to trust higher power and just go with the flow. It will release you from the need to always be right. Where were you when I needed you 10 years ago? Dioptase balances your heart chakra and puts focus on yourself rather than attempting to be a puppet master of other people's lives. Well, I never went that far, but hey, that one could be helpful, right? All right, and dolomite is a stone that stirs up your original thoughts. Dolomite rejects cookie-cutter lifestyles, and it's great for inventors. It looks like a cross-section of bone. It's a very strange-looking stone. Okay, it's like a stone that looks like bone. All right, it's good for inventors, writers, and students. Also, it will hold your hand through trying times of grief. Oh, so it looks like we all need this one. And also sadness. Place this crystal at your crown and your heart chakras so that they will flourish with health and energy. All right, and last but not least, and I'm going to give a bonus because I saw a bonus on a different website. This one is very weird. I've never heard of this one either. And again, with a purpley blue, beautiful stone. It is called Dumortierite. D-U-M-O-R, Dumort, like of the death, maybe, Dumort, or I don't know, D-U-M-O-R-T-I-E-R-I-T-E. It will set your ego and your attitude straight. It encourages you to maintain a positive attitude no matter what. Dolomite, now it says dolomite, but it's actually Dumortierite, so I think they just wrote the wrong thing there. Dumortierite will help you cope with fears and panic. Ooh, no more panic buying for extra rolls of toilet paper with this stone in your pocket. It helps your life get feng shui fresh. It's a healing stone that will enhance your organizational abilities by balancing your third eye chakra. All right, I'm going to go really quickly over to groveandgrotto.com, which I find to be a very fun website. Grove and Grotto. That's spelled G-R-O-T-T-O. That's Grotto. Groveandgrotto.com. All right. Where's this one? I saw this one and I was just blown away. All right. Dalmatian stone. How adorable is this? It's a white rock with little black spots like a Dalmatian puppy. And the Dalmatian stone is for loyalty, increasing family bonds, and to have better connection with animals. So that was kind of my little extra for you guys tonight. Also, blue goldstone is for inspiration, optimism, and dreaming. Blue goldstone is midnight blue with silvery dots that look like the night sky without any clouds or light pollution. It's absolutely beautiful. So I wanted to mention that. Blue aventurine. It's baby blue with white streaks. It looks like skies filled with clouds streaking across the sky. Blue aventurine is for hope, clear speech, and empathy. And that's it. Those are my extras that I wanted to share with you. All right, well, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Metaphysical Soul Speak, the podcast. I wanted to thank you for listening. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for being my listeners. I just heard from Janine today. I want to say thank you for writing to me on Instagram. And thank you for all of you who have written me recently saying that you love the show and that you just are happy to be part of it. I'm happy to have you. Honestly, I can't have a show without listeners. And so thank you to you. So there it is. I also wanted to encourage you to like, subscribe, favorite, share, all of those good social media things. Please tell all the people you know on Instagram as well as Facebook groups, especially your spiritual groups, about the show, because people need to know that I exist and I'm out here. And if they listen and they relate, maybe they can learn something, or they could at least just not feel alone in the spiritual awakening. That is why I'm doing this show. So there you have it. Please set your calendars, by the way, for July 1st, because during the whole month of July is when you will be able to go and vote for Metaphysical Soul Speak, the podcast, for a People's Choice Award. And I would love to be nominated I'd love to win, but if I can't win, at least I want to get my name in the historical record book of the People's Choice Awards. So there you have it. That's it. Tomorrow is Friday. I'm going to come back with all unique and original programming, just like always. And since it's Friday, we're going to go over the Earth Changes Report, and we'll see if there's any weird news. No one's out anymore, so there's not as many weird things as there were before, but we'll see what we can scare up. Anyway, that's it, guys. I love you. I want you to be safe. Wash your hands, social distance, but still talk to your friends over social media. I can be found at mermaidgirl888 on Instagram. That's also my handle on Twitter. #SoulFamily, #SoulTribe are hashtags I put out quite often so that you can find me on either one. Also, I'm Elena Fox Starks on Facebook. Also, I have a Metaphysical Soul Speak website on Facebook. I just got 20 notifications this week, so I think maybe some of you have started discussions. Go ahead, talk amongst yourselves. I think it's wonderful if you want to talk about the show. That's your platform to do so. Anyway, that's it, guys. I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm signing off now with peace and joy and the high vibes of the Holy Fifth Dimension. Until next time, guys, peace. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you.